Welcome back, everyone. So I don't know if you're still interested, or if you've even been following the story still about Casey White. Who is Casey White? He is the inmate who was serving time for murder, with the aid of his lover, Vicky White, a sheriff's officer who worked there at the county jail where he was awaiting trial on a murder for hire charge. Helped him break out of jail, and they went. There was a nationwide manhunt for 11 days to find these two, and they ended up being found in Evansville, Indiana. And a car crash ensued, and then Vicky White, with the aid of her service revolver that she received from the sheriff's department, ended up taking her own life before being captured. Now, Casey White has been rearrested. He is back in county jail where he needs to be because he has these murder for hire charges that are pending. He is in solitary confinement. He has a guard stationed right outside of his door. So the chances of him ever getting to a general population unit to be able to plan another escape, because this was his second there at the attempt, an actual succession on the second time, but of a escape from this county jail. But he will not be. And once sentenced, he will go to a maximum security prison. We do not know which one yet. The Federal Bureau of Prisons is still deciding that, along with the State Bureau of Prisons. Yes, both of them are working together to figure out a place to send, good old Casey once he's convicted. But today, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of motions that his new attorney had filed the other day. The first is a change of venue. He wants to move the jury trial to another county altogether because he believes that his client will not be able to receive a fair trial in a county where it's to be heard right now because of the publicity on mainstream media, and he did note on the internet as well. So people like myself have ruined his ability to get a fair trial, apparently. But anyways, he filed a motion to have the trial moved to a different county. The second motion he filed, and request is that he said that Casey should not be charged with escape because he was in custody the entire time that he was gone. Yes, believe it or not. He wants you, and if you're a potential juror in the next county over, he wants you to believe that Casey was actually in custody, that Vicky had him in custody the entire time, and that he wasn't free to leave on his own will. Now, they're going to have some issues with the car wash video, in case you've seen that, where he walks away freely on his own. There's also when they were held up in that motel there, Vicky had left him a couple of times to get provisions for the two of them. So what did she want us to believe that does he want us to believe that he was chained to the toilet, that she had him on some kind of invisible rope at the car wash? I don't know, but he definitely was not in custody the entire time. But it's a motion, though, all the same, that his new attorney has filed. So the question I have for everybody today is a simple math question about Casey White. As we know, Casey White was already serving a 75-year sentence for murder and additional charges, gun charges, and so on, that he had committed before, not counting the murder for hire or anything that he did with Vicky on the run. He was doing a 75-year sentence. He's eligible for parole on that case in 69 years. He does need to serve the maximum on the gun enhancement on that. So years is the maximum point that he could shave off of that 75, be out 65 years or 69 years. Then he's going to look at the escape, felon in possession of a gun charges, and everything else that he has from the actual escape itself with Vicky. If convicted on that, he could get a maximum of 15 years in prison, be out in 8 years on top of that. So let's look at this again. He has to do 65 to 69 years on the first charge that he already had that wasn't part of this. And then you add 8 more years to that. What do we have now? We see how the years are piling up here. Plus, the man is 38 years old today. All right? On top of that, is it worth it? And the question I have for you is it worth it for us, the taxpayers, to spend $100,000, $200,000 to go through a trial for a murder for hire plot to convict him of the possible murder for hire? He confessed to, then he withdrew it. The court agreed that he could actually withdraw the actual confession. But what he was doing there was most likely confessing to a crime that he didn't commit, but it planted the seed of doubt for the possible jury, at another inmate that they were actually looking at for that crime. Now, I'm not saying Casey didn't actually commit the crime. He very well could have, because the MO and everything about it totally fits with what Casey White had done beforehand. So let's just say, do we spend the $200,000 to convict him and send him away for another 20, 25 years to tack on? His very eligible parole date, he would be in his hundreds. He'd be between 104 to 108 years of age by the time he's eligible for parole on the charges he has right now, plus the 75-year conviction he already has, eligible for parole, 65 to 69 years. It all depends on how much time he gets in good time. Is it worth it? Is it getting the family justice for those who were involved in the case of the murder for hire? 50-50. The family right now is half want an eye for an eye for what he did or possibly did. The other half of the family doesn't really care, because it's not going to bring their mother back or their family member back. So the question is, should we even go forward with the murder for hire plot against Casey? He has to do the very minimum 65 years, even if they take the 15 years of the escape and everything else and they run it concurrently with his sentence. He's 38 years old today, plus 65 years at the very minimum. He has no chance of getting out. Inmates don't live long, fruitful lives as the general rule behind bars. Healthcare is not that great. The spread of viruses like the coronavirus is rampant in jails and prisons. The next is the gang and the violent outbursts that have happened within prisons, and how quickly someone can be murdered or harmed. It decreases the total overall life expectancy for an inmate. So is it, again, worth the time to us, the taxpayers, to try him on a murder for hire plot that we have maybe at best a 50-60% chance of actually winning? Comment down below. Let me know. What do you think we should do with Casey White? I mean, obviously, it's give him the needle for what he's done. But can we do that? Looking at the actual facts that are laid out in front of us here? Thank you for joining me today, and you have a wonderful day today. Hey, you've made it to the end of another video. You can go ahead and watch more content here and subscribe here. Thank you.